On Skull Island, silence rarely means peace. In the mud beneath ferns.
Here, at the edge of a forgotten world, mankind brings its most advanced tools of war, not to protect, but to conquer a king.
High above the chaos, one human understands the truth. The hunters are not here to save anyone. They are here to break a legend.
In the silence between his heartbeats, the king hears something new. The cold rhythm of man, fragile and small, forges steel into chain and net, turning.
Every step cuts her skin. Every breath burns her lungs.
In the heart of a forest, he has ruled all his life. The king. In a thunder of steel, the hunters unleash their opening strike, an attack meant to pierce a giant. Steel, forged by human hands, meets Titan flesh, and the island trembles from the king's cry. Man pulls with iron and engine, but nature forged the king with muscle and wrath. With a single surge of primal power, the king reminds mankind why legends are feared. Human ingenuity births a weapon that breaks not bone, but the world itself. The sonic Titan cannon. No roar of beast, nor strength of built can silence. The jungle itself trembles as the invisible hammer of sound strikes the king's skull. For the first time in many battles, the king bends, not to another beast, but to the weapons of men.
Believing the battle already won, the hunters advance, not realizing that a wounded king is still a king.
She finds him at last, not roaring in triumph, but driven to his knee beneath the lights and guns of men. Her voice, fragile yet fierce, cuts through the storm of machines and reaches the heart of a Titan.
In moments of power, mankind often reveals its darkest instinct, to aim first at the defenseless. Through pain and confusion, the king sees the one light of kindness in his world, and the guns pointed at her. For a Titan, pain is fuel, and his fury becomes a force no machine was designed to withstand. Steel screams as the impossible happens. The first chain breaks.
Fear spreads through the ranks because the king is rising.
The chains of man fall one by one. The king rises again, wounded, enraged, and unstoppable.
Cornered and afraid, the hunters cling to their machines, their only hope against a rising giant.
In a world of monsters and machines, one human stands between a Titan and...
In a world of monsters and machines, one human stands between a Titan and the weapons of men.
Even as she begs them to stop, the decision is made. The weapon answers not to mercy, but to command.
Pushed beyond its limits, the weapon turns on itself, its fury folding inward.
In their attempt to break a king, the hunters break their own greatest weapon.
When the smoke clears, power has shifted, but the true threat below has only just begun to stir. Beneath the ruined weapon, something older, heavier, and far more deliberate begins to wake. The Titan hunters did not come with just traps and guns. Buried beneath the island's stolen soil where nature forged flesh and fury. For the first time on Skull Island, the king does not face bone and blood. One born of jungle and storm, one born of steel and fear. Two forces shaped by different worlds finally advance toward collision. A weapon built not to wound, but to dominate anything that breathes. Steel unleashes fury the jungle has never known. Even kings fall when struck by the children of steel. It advances not with rage, but with purpose. Its mission, domination. Even crushed under steel and smoke, the king refuses to bow. Steel prepares to end flesh, but nature has one final defiance left. Strength alone does not rule this island. Instinct and survival do. Now, the king takes back his island. Steel meets fury, and for the first time, steel bends. Even under a Titan's fist, the steel giant refuses to fall. Even under a Titan's fist.
Where nature relies on scent and sound, this hunter sees heat, motion, and angles no beast can sense. Steel does not hunt with claws. It hunts with impact, erasing whole pieces of the jungle with each step. Instinct and raw survival keep him inches away from death.
Between king and machine stands a single human, forced to watch a war she never asked for.
When claws are not enough, man gives his creation a soul. One breath slower, and the king's story ends here. Flesh and steel collide, each refusing to yield. This is not just a fight for survival, but for the soul of Skull Island. No creature on this island has ever dared bend steel, until now. Engineers knew a Titan would grapple, so they built the blade to punish the very act of touching it.
For machines, hesitation does not exist. Only continuation until the target can no longer rise.
A king's strength is not measured by how hard he falls, but how many times he rises. When nature arms her king, even steel must fear the forest. The forest itself becomes a weapon, and steel finally feels fear. Steel adapts. Steel evolve. Steel strikes harder each time. Steel adapts. Steel evolve. Steel strikes harder each time. Bone meets mountain, and for a moment, even a king lies quiet. For a heartbeat, Skull Island's king lies trapped, pinned by stone and steel's echo. The machine does what it was built to do, advance until nothing moves.
Where others would run, she follows the falling king. In his weakest moment, he finds the one voice that does not fear him.
Steel does not tire. Steel does not turn away. It comes, until all resistance ends. From under stone and steel's shadow, on the broken spine of Skull Island, King and machine prepare for the final reckoning. Steel rises where flesh cannot, ascending with unnatural certainty. The king makes his presence impossible to ignore. Nature arms its king once more, this time with the mountain itself. Steel endures, but even steel bends when mountains fall. At the foot of the fallen ridge, king and machine stand, ready for the reckoning. In the moonlit ruins of a shattered ridge, king and machine, man built it to control Titans, but in its final form, it was built to kill them. No jungle beast moves like this. Only a king defending his last breath. Steel does not fear collision. It calculates it. When unstoppable force meets engineered immovability, the island itself trembles. Strength alone cannot break steel, but fury can bend it. Even kings bleed, and machines do not hesitate. Kong!
Her cry cuts through stone, steel, and the king's pain.
Strength forged in nature breaks what mankind engineered. To defeat a king, mankind built a sun in chains. A sun forged by human hands prepares to erase a king of nature. A wounded king charges into the jaws of artificial lightning. No flesh should survive such fury, and yet he does. No machine can calculate the will of a king. Fire meets fury, and for the first time, the machine knows resistance. The sun forged by man is extinguished by the hand of a king. Steel sleeps. The island breathes again. The king stands, scarred, battered, but unbroken.
Even giants kneel when they care.